This is a Warzone masterclass. I have given you guys countless guides and got rave reviews on all my tips and tricks, but if you can't cross-apply it into your gameplay, it is worthless. And what I do today, I pull together all those tips, all those tricks, and even towards the middle of this game, I pull out a strategy that I don't hear anybody talking about to basically perfectly predict what an enemy is doing, and it's gonna blow your mind because it's something you didn't realize was in the palm of your hand the entire time, and I'm thrilled. Okay, this usually would be on our second channel where I do coaching, not only of my gameplay, but your gameplay, where I break down where you should be rotating, how you can win, but it's done so in a repeatable and more relatable fashion where you don't have to have insane gun skill. You can just rely off of smart positioning and game sense to dominate your lobby. And that's what I do. If you guys are interested in that style of video, make sure to check out my second channel, The Academy. We are back on the groove over there, posting a lot with coaching content that I've linked in the pinned comment and the description. Without further ado, enjoy the rest of today's absolute masterclass in rotation. Wait until the mid game and the end. It will blow your mind. Hope you guys enjoy this. I will see you all over on the second channel. Okay, so for the focus of this one, we're really going to be focusing heavy on rotation. So we're not necessarily going to be going for the highest kill games, but a lot of people get stuck in the middle game and they're not sure, well, what the heck they should do. So rather than crutching on something like a recon or just sitting center zone, we're going to put ourselves a little bit more on the outside and then talk about how we would rotate in. Now, ideally in a game like this, I bring it all the way home and I bring it in for a win, but that may or may not happen as you play. So if I end up getting knocked out, what we'll do is we'll look at other players and how they're rotating and what they should be doing if I were in their position. So it might end up being one of those do as I say and not as I do, but ideally we bring this thing all the way home. So this is one of those videos where I do a one-shot take. So that way it's not a perfect scenario, right? I want this to be a consistent and repeatable strategy for you to use as you go through the game. So I've gone ahead and put myself on the outside of the map just in case you found yourself in that position before, and then we'll start to work our way in. So we've got the gas moving in right now. We have to keep in mind a lot of players have landed around us, and most people are going to find themselves funneling in towards this buy station right here. Everyone who's landed on the outer, you might have some stragglers over here, but since this plane landed over the top, you probably saw those red gunshots. That means those were people that were dropping AFK, and a lot of solo players like to land on AFK people to raise their KD, but I should expect more players wrapping into me and a lot of conflict over here. So if you're conflict averse, you have to keep that in mind that as this circle closes in, it's going to get hot. And you may find yourselves wrapping early as opposed to hanging around here. I'm going to buy my loadout here. Just know that it's going to be hot. So I am not super conflict averse. I prefer to get in some early gunfights just to keep my hands warm, because I'm big in the camp that if you don't get in early gunfights, you're going to fail your late gunfights. So that's kind of going to be the strategy. We're still going to look for some kills, but especially towards circles 3, 4, and 5, you're going to see us be in ultimate power position. Now, look up in my top left. You see how my radar is red? That means I am on someone's UAV. So anytime I see that, I preemptively pop my own UAV or my own radar. And since I have the recon vest on, or the comms vest, I can see even ghosted players. So I know for a fact that no one is by me, at least in my immediate area. So that's kind of a good time for you to get paranoid, is whenever you see that turn red, you should start looking, because someone's more than likely going to be pushing up on you. And my loadout drops inside of no man's land. But what I can do to help secure that, every time that I'm running, I'm looking at all these windows, looking at all these rooftops.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
To make that feel a little bit more secure as I go to get my loadout, I can use that $6,000 that I looted up to find a UAV, and I see, like I mentioned earlier, highly contested over there. And I don't even want to deal with that. So if the end goal is winning, I don't need to force those fights, and more importantly, I don't need to get bogged down as I fight through here, and then, God forbid, someone's holding me in one of these cranes and I can't cross the water. So that could be a really nice spot for me to cross, but it's also a really nice spot for me to grief someone else from crossing. So that way, they can't walk it, or they can't fly over their cross, they have to walk it, which makes it to where, you know, someone doesn't potentially land on a hill behind me. So it's kind of a toxic thing. I don't always do it, but when I especially do it, is if I were to be on this hilltop holding people out, I would always shoot that out in advance and just let them know that they are not going to get free rotations. So now, we kind of got to think about where we want to go, right? Some people may find themselves inside of urzikstan cargo because they want to push themselves towards the center of the zone. But here's the bad thing about playing like that. As we start to think about our rotations, we have to think 2-3 circles in advance, right? So if we were to get inside of urzikstan cargo, maybe pull up on fire station, which is a really strong building, eventually, based on the size of this zone, we're more than likely going to have to pull up this hill, right? So we have to keep in mind natural terrain and where are difficult crosses in the map. Crossing up this hill in the open is a death trap, right? It is very difficult to break what I call grandma's house up here. It is very difficult to break up these open hills. And I'm sure you've had plenty of times where you're stuck behind these trains and you've got people holding you on the hill. So my rotation theory is 1, get the heck out of here. They're about to conquer a black site. And 2, let's use this to wrap towards power positions, not necessarily for camping, but so it's easy for me to rotate mid-game as well. So you can see this is all knowledge that I'm using, not off of racking up UAVs and racking up bounties and having all this information from recons. This is just knowledge of the terrain. And since there's no longer a buy station here, I wasn't super paranoid. People don't play here as often. That was not a buy station. But this is all just knowledge of the map, of the terrain, and where players are going to want to camp as they work their way through the map. So as I'm going in here, I'm looking at commonly camped areas. I'm looking up in that fire station tower. I'm looking up in this tower over here. We know there's a mobile buy station here, so there's more than likely someone in this area. So just real quick, since I see fire station is clear, and I hear that it's clear, it's really nice. I'm going to loot through it, try to find myself some good loot, and I'm going to pop this UAV since I have no info about this area. Considering this guy's out in the open, I might be able to get a free pick. He just threw it on a muni box, and there he is, and I just missed him. Okay, but let's use the rest of this info. This pops off. It looks like I might be able to make my way all the way up here. And let's use that info. Let's keep... Yeah. That's why we want to go early, right? Don't just sit in a tower and take pot shots. Yeah, see? Just by moving forward that little amount, I got information on 2 extra players. So, rather than sitting there, being lazy, let's be proactive and start to break towards where I think some strong power positions would be. Now, I'm looking at my top left. I'm noticing that there aren't any UAVs currently up. Speak of the devil, there it goes. So now I'm going to be paranoid. And since it most likely was called from this UAV, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get to this before they can get to me. So I'm pushing this hillside. So that way I can maybe catch them on... Yeah, see? I got stunned, but I threw the smoke early. Listening for gunfights, for gunshots. And what you can do is play this slow. Notice how now the UAV is out up on the top left. So he's really no factor. I got all those smokes. And then rather than trying to hit a really fancy flick or something, I can throw that out. I'll get the crack. I'll miss some shots. Relatable. Throw this over top. Crack him again. Crack him again.
Gas is closing in.
Am I gonna reach Al? He's not. I'm out of util. But since I don't have any info, right? We're not trying to rely off of raw gun skill. We spot him. Keep in mind that he was getting shot. So we throw in some snakes. Try to find that player's location. Since I can't, I'm gonna disengage. So I gotta be careful. There could be people coming up the back of my hill. I meant to grab that guy's money. I just spotted this player, so I don't want to reach out this because that's where I was just looking, right? There it is. Last thing I want to do, as I slide over here, I see the glint.
Enemy soldier incoming.
He just came out of the gulag more than likely, so he doesn't have plates. Oh, no point in me chasing that, right? If I was super kill hungry, I would. But the reason I took that fight the way I did is as I started shooting him here, I got a couple cracks. Notice the footsteps started pushing towards me. You could hear him pushing up towards me. The reason he's doing that is he doesn't have any plates. So he basically has to win that gunfight aggressively, otherwise he's never going to win it at all. And so my thought is, let's just replate up myself, because I have the advantage of time and plates. I'll throw a sky nade, and if I crack him, easiest gunfight, easiest win of my life. Obviously, he ended up making a really smart disengagement as he heard me going up the trees. He bounced out, but that's the way it should be played. Top left, you can see a most wanted pushing up towards me. Make sure I don't accidentally drop that. Precision airstrike. Looking at this dot, it is moving away from me. Missing my shot. Still keep an eye on my lower left. He's gonna wrap up this left hill with a crack. I'm gonna try to hit double sniper.
Enemies are dropping into the area.
Finish it off with the SMG. And that guy just got turned on bad. That one's just... I could hear the guy dropping in. I thought it was someone possibly from Gulag. Great shots out of that guy. But the whole time in that gunfight, I was keeping it to where... Notice I'm not challenging here, so if I proned out, he can still shoot me. I'm taking the shots here. And then if he does crack me, I would bounce the smoke off that wall, wait for it to pop, and then run. But now we're behind the curve. Okay, we got a little bit greedy for kills. We started looking at that most wanted. Our eyes got a little big. Now we really have to focus rotations, okay? Haven't had UAV up for a while. Not exactly sure what's going on. And we just spotted a guy at the buy. Ended up getting the kill. That was the guy that landed on us earlier. That we were fighting really long over here. So thank goodness we caught him on the buy, because he actually had some decent movement. I'm gonna pop a smoke, because I don't know what the heck's going on around me. And I'm gonna buy a portable radar, because that's gonna help me rotate later. But here's where we talk about getting greedy. I could absolutely turn around and hold those guys behind me, but I want to start focusing on rotation. More than likely, this is gonna be God's spot, okay? Or possibly this building right here. Since I have this comms vest, and since I have the UAV, let's not focus on what's behind me. Let's get ahead of this curve and start to play for power position in the end game. I'm not worried about getting those kills. Like I said, this wasn't a super high kill focused game. Guy got a loadout there. I could try to airstrike it.
Into the AO.
I'm gonna go ahead and airstrike that, because if he has self-revive, that means he has loadout more than likely. And it wasn't just a Gulag lander. I don't get the kill, but I see that he's still up there. That's all I'm worried about. Pop this portable. And now I'm gonna go set up on high ground. Grab plates. By default, the game only picks up 9 plates for you. So if you want to get more than 9 plates, you have to manually pick them up. But here's an interesting thought, right? I actually want to shoot this out, even though it might help me with rotations later. More than likely, if someone were to down me from below, that's what they would use. And I've got a hit marker, which means he's down here. If someone were to down me, they would use that to come up here and push me. I hear more footsteps. And I heard him on wood. I think I would hear him like on shingles if he was up there. That means that one player is still inside. I don't have high alert, so I need to be paranoid about behind me. I'm actually going to keep this open just in case I get downed and I need to crawl in for someone's airstrike. Oh, I see a guy deep right. Crack. I tried to lead, right? I always try to think about where someone's going to go after I shoot them.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Gulag is closed
nice.
until further
Once again, kind of got a good spot here, but more than likely, this isn't going to be a viable spot for me to hold long term. So it's going to be risky here, but we're doing this solely for information, not for aggression.
Loadout drop
I'm going to clear out around me. I'll look over here, make sure that sniper's not pushing. And then, yep, got to be careful. That is a fantastic snipe to build me some time. That guy does have a sniper. You see that really long barrel he pulled out?
You're losing
Oh, there's that footstep next to us. Not going to risk it. We're going to smoke off. And now we're going to start playing for rotations. Once again, we could get greedy, but that's not the game plan. I'm not worried about getting into a 1v1 sniper battle against that guy. I just want that UAV so I can hold power position. But likely, what I'm going to end up doing is working my way up to the top of this building and holding this for the time being.
UAV is exiting the AO.
Make sure I know where the door is for airstrikes. And I did have one player behind me. There he is. He does have a sniper.
You made it to the top 10.
Footsteps on my lower left. More over there, more likely. And actually, what I'm going to do, just to give myself better audio, if I can. I'm just going to open that up, because I can't really hear what's going on too well. Clear my rooftops. Shut that door for an audio cue. And there he is. So we just saw him on the opposite roof. You can play that in slow-mo replay. I'm not interested in challenging that quite yet.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone.
Gotta be careful about the sniper across, because this was not the same guy. I saw... Oh, okay. As soon as I saw how slow he was crossing into safety, I decided to push him.
Gas is inbound.
And there was a risk that that guy could have peeked and sniped me at the same time, but kind of a calculated risk. But this is a situation where I might be more apt to use my durable while I try to find out where the rest of these players are. I'll be able to play kind of like the top of this building here in a moment. Oh, I don't have any smokes. This is actually a really bad spot for me to be. So what I'm going to do, just in case there's someone ratting directly under me, I'm going to let my gas mask play just for a second. I see someone on my low left.
Closing in.
I don't follow his direct angle. I follow his cutoff because I know where he's trying to go, right? If he stays here, he's dead. So he's trying to finesse out. The sniper on my right, that's who we were looking for earlier. What we can do is you can jump on top of AC units. Hopefully work myself into an angle he's not expecting. Got a little bit of a durable to play, but I have no smoke and no nade.
Gas is closing in.
There he is, bottom. Get the kill. Taking a look at this gas mask, 95. That's more than what I have. He does have nades for me. I'm going to grab those. Looking for anything here. Yep, like a heartbeat or portable radar. He might be out in the ocean, but I don't have... Yep, there he is. And a clinic. And just an absolute clinic. First game of the day. Not going for anything crazy high kills, but notice, outside of that top middle of the map, I didn't really put myself in any super dangerous positions. I was holding power. I didn't get greedy. And notice I never had like the gas on my back, right? The only time I did was when I didn't have information about who was possibly below me. So I kind of waited it out. But outside of that, it's just a little bit earlier of a rotation. Hold, scan, get information via UAV, rotate early. Hold, scan, and just an absolute clinic. And you can see, even without going for crazy high kills, I only had to rely on my gun skill like maybe once or twice. Obviously, I hit some nice snipes, and I turned on that one guy on the top of the hill. For the most part, I was just letting lethals do the work. I was letting gatekeeps do the work. And we ended up with a light 14 kill, 5,600 damage game. you guys enjoyed this POV, if you thought you learned a lot, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe here on this channel. We do a lot of educational content to help you guys get better. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.